Thank you very much to Egon Zehnder for having me invited to the 2018 Leaders and Daughters initiative. My name is Marco Alverà. I'm the CEO of Snam and father of Lipsy and Greta, who are 8 and 6 years old. The world in which they will begin to work is going to look very different. It's going to be a world where life expectancy will be above 130 years, where 2/3 of the job we do today will no longer be done in the same way. It's going to be a world where I hope diversity will no longer be an issue between genders and between races and between cultures, and people will be focused on diversity of character as much as other diversities. It will be a world where character is going to be equally important than IQ and other cognitive skills, and hopefully universities will no longer be using 50-year-old GMATs to be carrying out entrance tests. And I think it will be a world where happiness is going to be equally or more important than money, culture-wise. So what to do to get ready for this new type of world? Or the hard things to do, I mean, looking at the hard side of things, the practical things, certainly to study a foreign language, whether it's Indian or Chinese, will help, given a lot of the economy of the future world will be coming from the East and from Asia. Certainly having a good understanding of humanities, of how humans work, I think is going to be more important, as non-humans will take over a lot of our jobs. And certainly understanding programming or algorithms or mathematics or ICT or certainly skills that are going to be necessary in the new world. But I think what's more interesting are the soft skills, what to do on the soft side. And I think that will not change so much in the future, because ultimately as human beings we perform very well if we are passionate about what we do. So my first advice to you, Lipsy and Greta, is to really try to find out early on in life what drives you, what makes you passionate. If you can do as a profession what you're passionate about, whatever the field is, that will make you a lot more fulfilled and successful as well. How do you go about understanding what your strengths are and who you are and what passions you? It's about self-awareness, it's about observation, it's about asking some of the questions early on, and certainly we are there to help you do this. Once you know what drives you and what you're passionate about, you have to take some risk. Without risks, it's very hard to get yourself into a position where you can fulfill yourself. They have to be calculated risks, you can have backup options, but some risk has to be taken. And don't be afraid to dream big. Dream big, think big, act big, because the world is out there for you and your passions to conquer it. And nothing will happen if you stay at home. So as you think big, you have to be careful to keep your feet firmly on the ground. Your successes should never distract you from being humble, being self-aware, and avoiding in any way to be arrogant. I have seen many people stumble on arrogance, and that can be really a fatal flaw as you seek to grow professionally and personally. The other piece of advice would be to seek help. I have benefited a lot from many mentors, and if you seek mentors, you're simply learning from them and engaging with them. And it's a two-way process, so also being a mentor is a good way to learn. And as you are self-aware, I think it would be very good to surround yourself with people who are different, people who can compensate you, people who can encourage you, and people who can tell you and give you feedback on what works and what doesn't work. And finally, I think it's very important to be aware of your own biases. We're all born with biases. Our experience generates biases, our fears generate biases, our desire to seek a quick solution can be a bias. There can be many biases. And it's very hard on your own to see these biases, and these biases will impact decisions. This is why teamwork is important, whether it's at home, whether it's at school, whether it's in the company. With a team, you can openly talk about biases and be aware of biases, and this can really help the decision making. So this is what you should do. Now, what should I do, and what will I do with Mommy and with the people who love you? I will do a few things. We will continue to travel, to look at the world, hopefully with different eyes, and this is not only fun, but also useful and opening up to new possibilities. I will try very hard for both of you to be an example in humbleness and in passion, and how to achieve those two things together. And finally, I will try to contribute to a world where gender diversity is no longer an issue. I think we're well underway. In a company like Snam today, we have more than 50% of women in our boards, in our management teams, in our promotions. We're working hard to reduce any pay gap. And I think today there's no difference in opportunities already. But I think as society we need to do a lot more. So this is a commitment I'm happy to take. Thank you.